Thank you, Al. We'll talk about getting that sculpted look. If you've dreamed of having a body like a Greek goddess or perhaps Michelangelo's David, well, it is now possible with a new type of plastic surgery that combines technology with art. It's called liposculpture, and it promises to get rid of fat while contouring the body. It's called high-definition liposculpture, and Denver-based plastic surgeon Dr. John Millard has pioneered the technique in America. He says it's the next revolution in plastic surgery and will replace traditional liposuction.
Liposculpture actually strategically leaves some of that fat behind, recognizing that it's certain bumps or lumps on our torso that give us actual beauty.
Dr. Millard learned the technique in South America. So far, he's performed over 20 surgeries, including one on 46-year-old John Sedini.
A friend of mine had the procedure and shared with me the results, and I was amazed.
John says he opted for the surgery because he found it harder and harder to keep off weight and stay fit despite working out regularly.
It becomes more and more difficult, that battle between diet and exercise. And I finally realized that it's not going to get any easier.
Patients pay up to $15,000 for the procedure. Dr. Millard says the smaller instruments he uses lead to less pain and recovery time. At 28, Valerie Warren hopes high-definition liposculpture can rid her of stubborn belly fat.
I've had this stomach for a while, and when I wake up in the mirror, I see it, and it's always there.
After surgery, Dr. Millard says Valerie will be back to work in just a few days.
It will be nice to be able to buy a pair of jeans or to be able to buy clothes without having to suck in my stomach. I expect to see, I don't want to say a six-pack, but a four-pack, some abdominal muscles that'll look good.
And Dr. John Millard is here with two of his patients, Valerie Warren and John Sedini, who you just saw in that video, and they're ready to show off their new curves. Good morning to you all.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, Dr. Millard, first tell me, how is liposculpture so different than liposuction?
Well, high-definition liposculpture came about actually as a result to probably some of the inadequacies of liposuction. What it is it's a revolutionary technique where we combine the art of sculpting with essentially a breakthrough technology of VASER liposelection to give people a sculpted look by selectively removing some fat but leaving some behind, thin layers which we leave over muscles.
So you're sculpting it into muscles so that you can get those 4- or 6-pack abs or get rid of those love handles. So
exactly. In fact, your typical patient is a male patient that comes in with a belly, and we'll transform them via this technique into having ripped abs, obliques, a highly defined chest.
So who makes for a good candidate?
You know, everybody's a good candidate, actually. Men and women.
But not somebody who's more overweight, right?
Exactly. For the patients that are overweight, we'll actually refer them on to consultants to get them in shape. But if you have a normal amount of fat and you're relatively healthy, both men and women can be great candidates for this procedure.
And Valerie, as we saw, I mean, in the piece, you're 28 years old and you wanted that body that you had worked so hard to get but never could quite have it.
Right.
So why did you choose this over liposuction?
Well, the choice between the two of them, it was obvious. You know, if I'm going to go ahead and get the liposuction done, why not go with the high definition and get the results to see the abs and to have that more feminine look. So. And
I know you are very happy with your results, and you want to show us. We have a before picture of you first, and then you're going to show us here live. Here's your before picture, and now go ahead. I know you're very confident and proud of how you look. So. And take a look at her now. And Dr. Millard, she's 6 weeks out, so she still has a little bit of swelling, right?
She does, a little bit, although after about 4 weeks, you're going to see a significant part of your results. And the beautiful thing about what Valerie has now is a athletic yet very feminine appearance.
And she's going to have more of those 6-pack abs.
She'll have a more defined, you can see her rectus here will be more defined as the weeks go on. There's some definition over her sides now.
I know you're very happy. Your husband loves it?
Yes. He loves it. So I get more compliments now all the time about how great the procedure looks, and he's very happy with the results.
Good. So, and John, as we saw as well, you had the same issue because you clearly work out a lot, but never could quite get rid of the love handles, and you wanted to do something for yourself. So why did you go with high-def liposculpture?
A couple of different reasons. One, with the recovery time. I was actually back to work the next day, and I travel all the time, so that was one of the reasons I didn't want to be able to take a week or 2 weeks off to recover. The swelling, there was less swelling with this procedure, and I was really impressed when you look at what the VASER does on this procedure versus the other liposuction. I was impressed with the results.
We have some before and after pictures of you as well, if we could take a look at those and tell us how satisfied you are with the results. Here's the before, and then here we see you now after. And again, you're also 6 weeks post-op, so there's also going to be a little bit of swelling, but I mean, you've got abs there.
Yes, and every day I'm amazed that I see improvement, and if it didn't get any better than it is today, I'd be happy, but I know it's going to continue to get better for me.
So do you miss your love handles?
It's a bizarre sensation not to reach back, and I've had them since I was in high school.
So, Dr. Millard, I mean, clearly a lot of people are going to be, how do I sign on? What do I do? But I mean, there is some expense, and there, I'm sure, are some issues as well that they have to consider, if you can, really quickly.
Well, it's a surgical procedure, and so you want to go to a qualified physician who's trained in high-definition liposelection.
And you're the only one in the country right now. But
Currently the only
training
one in the
other people.
country, and one of two in the world, Dr. Alfredo Hoyos being the other.
All right. Well, Dr. John Millard, it is fascinating. Valerie, thank you so much, and John Sodini, all of you, congratulations. You all look great.